Hey, everybody, it's Lane Booth here with some more data magic for you here today. If you would like to say goodbye to scatter data because the average small business is using over 172 applications to run things, then let's learn how you can integrate multiple sources for one seamless reporting tool. So, guys, first of all, just take a moment to pause and consider how many applications are you actually using right now? We asked this to a training that we were on the other day, and most people said well above 20, probably more than that. And if you are seeing any of the software that you use as I am scrolling this by on your screen right now, you're probably recognizing that, hey, I'm actually using more than I thought I would. And it can very quickly get overwhelming, and it can very quickly become some data that you are ignoring when that data could be making you money instead. So let's talk about some of the challenges of dealing with scattered data sources and what you can do about it. Drea?
Yeah, so we work with so many different clients, and we come from, many where again, there's just everything's in software, but it's all over the place, and it takes a really long time to pop into each software application, look at their dashboards, look at their reporting, and then how does that compare? How do they integrate with each other? And then we have clients who taking that data, they're putting it into spreadsheets, they're tracking things on spreadsheets. And so having a tool that you can pull from, whether it is the spreadsheets or pulling from the applications, into one tool that you can see how this data interacts with each other, that you can really powerfully get to a place, synthesize that data, find the insights, and figure out what is the right next step in the business.
Yes. And one of the things I think we have honestly done really well for dashboards in particular for small businesses is create what we call the executive dashboard. And so the executive dashboard is going to pull in multiple pieces of the business. It's going to pull in what's happening from marketing and sales. It's going to pull in what's happening operationally with the team. And it's also going to be pulling in what's happening with the finances, the money, the QuickBooks Zero, whatever that software is, to see what's happening from end to end. Because if you might notice, you're getting a certain set of reports from your bookkeeper, you're getting another set of reports from your ads agency, you're getting another set of data and figures from your operations manager, right? And so to be able to see all of that in one place and to see how it really connects can make a huge difference in how you approach those challenges and the decisions that you need to make to move your business forward. So one of my favorite things that a dashboard does is that it really allows for integrating multiple pieces and layering those pieces as well. So Drea, do you want to talk, let's talk through an example of what it could look like to layer maybe QuickBooks with Facebook ads or, something like that to where our audience can understand a little bit more today?
Yeah, absolutely. So QuickBooks, first thing, revenue. You want to know what's happening from a revenue perspective of the business. This is often backward looking at data, but it tells you a lot, right? Are you meeting your goals and your expectations? But also in QuickBooks, you can track expenses. So you want to know what your overall marketing and advertising our expenses are, and then looking in for the actual performance of that you can pull in from your Facebook ads. So you're spending this money on Facebook ads. Well, are those ads working for you? Are they meeting the targets that you've set for those ads? And so instead of going to different places and trying to compile that together, you can set your metrics up in a way that you can assess if this is meeting your budget as well as your expectations for the ads just by pulling up your dashboard.
Yeah, this is honestly, it's something that we're doing inside of our business right now as well. So being able to see, what the Facebook ads are producing, how many registrations is that creating for our next event, which you should come to, by the way, lanebooth.com/grow. And then how much revenue, how many people are signing up, how many people are purchasing from us from that whole end-to-end system. I'm able to see that all at one glance, all on one dashboard. And then I'm also not nagging my team for what's the latest report on such and such, as we are going through our next, live event registrations, workshops, and things like that. I have that information at my fingertips already. And the team is also aware if something dips or something spikes. First of all, we're either going to shout it out or celebrate it. And then we're also going to come together on, hey, do we want that to continue happening? How can we really dive in and replicate this again for next time if it's positive, or if we're seeing some negative trends, we're also catching it much earlier. And that's because it's not just a one zone of the business, but we're able to see across the board on that executive dashboard multiple pieces at one time. And so it makes a lot of sense to see that, so that we can see, is the funnel broken, is the path broken, or is it just one slice? Maybe we just need to fix this one slice and not overhaul and throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah,
So
it really helps you be proactive in terms of, we need to take action now, or we should take action now to make this even better, and helps you diagnose which cogs in the wheel could use some attention. And Lane talked about a really good point here. She talked about her team, but many business leaders don't have a team. And so they're spending their time, they're spending hours in terms of compiling that data. And once you've spent that time just on the compiling data, you're not in that mind space to think of, well, how can I use this to improve the business? So if you can take those hours out of the week just by being able to pull up a dashboard, it's really powerful and being able to focus on what's moving the business forward versus reporting on the business.
Absolutely. Let's talk about one more thing before we wrap up today. Let's talk about the tools available for streaming, data integration, the processes, and ensuring accuracy in the reporting. Because if you get garbage in, my friends, you're going to get garbage out. And too many times what I'm seeing, and what I know Drea is seeing, boots on the ground right now, is that a lot of the data is either coming in inaccurate or is coming from multiple sources. And guess what? Those sources don't agree. They don't have the same number. So let's talk about some of the solutions when you run into something like this. Drea?
Yeah, there's oftentimes when we come into this, the client or usually knows something is a little off. And by pulling the data into the dashboard, you really can articulate, here's where the gaps are in the data. And if we can clean up the data in these particular places, this is the powerful tools and metrics that can be the result of that. And sometimes the dashboard can help you clean it up, right? You can similar to a spreadsheet, you can use data formulas and such on the back end where you can clean it up. But other times it's a clear delineation of, okay, now there needs to be a project set up for you and your team to get this data organized and clean up. But sometimes you can actually say, okay, actually the data's not complete because it's in different places. So how can we pull those data sources together so that there can be one comprehensive look? So there is a little bit of diagnosing that has to happen. Sometimes the data is not inaccurate and it's just a function of, hey, we need to do some cleanup or figure out how to add it together. And sometimes it is the data is wrong and now there's a project to figure out how to repair the foundation.
Absolutely. And so I find that this has been really helpful in our consulting practice when we're able to diagnose what's happening. Then not only are we building dashboards, but we're also educating and advising our clients on how to set up more proper processes, how to set up software so that it does flow and feed the data that is needed to drive decisions for the business, the decisions that are needed to grow in revenue, grow in profit margins. It's so amazing what's possible. Like we've seen our clients double or triple in growth in a matter of 12 months. We've seen, profit margins scale by 25% or more. What's possible when they have data at their fingertips is so powerful. And what's great about it as data consultants as well is that we are literally able to see their growth. And we're also able to see their growth of like, when we jumped in, like, here's how things were running before having data dashboards in place. And then, hey, here's the trajectory. Here's what's happened so far by just simply pulling the right data together and looking at it on a regular basis so that you can measure what's happening and you can optimize your results. So if you're a consultant that's also working with 6 and 7 figure businesses, I definitely want to encourage you to come to our next training at lanebooth.com/grow. And on this training, we're really going to be walking through what it looks like to become that data consultant to your clients. Maybe you're already consulting. You've either got maybe a marketing or an operations or a financial consulting practice of some sort, and you're looking for a way to just, take it up a notch, up level, ditch the spreadsheets and maximize the results for your clients and the income for yourself. Then I definitely want to invite you, know that you are cordially invited to join us at lanebooth.com /grow for our 3-part series so that you can add 6 figures to your consulting practice with data dashboards. All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap for this Data Magic series. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.